My name is Gijsbert de Jong. I am the Marine Chief Executive for the Nordic region at Veritas Marine and Offshore Classification Society, operating in the Nordic region from the office of Copenhagen.
At TUGTECHNOLOGY 25, we've had quite a few technical papers. What have you seen are the key highlights from those technical papers?
Well, I think if you look at the program, one of the standout points for me is the breadth of the different subjects which is taken into consideration. And we have been talking about many different aspects, about alternative fuels. We have been talking about how to implement those new technologies driving the decarbonisation are going to be handled on tugboats, what the regulatory aspects are around that, what the operational aspect, the technological hurdles. So it is a very wide range of different subjects on that area. But like today, we moved over to more the digital space, both in terms of what the ports are doing, which I think was a very good session also to expand beyond the assets and the operation of the assets, but into the wider logistical supply chain in which they are involved. So we went on digital, we went on drones, and then in the last part we were much more technical in terms of TUGTECHNOLOGY, the original reason why we are having this conference, about wire technology, about winch technology, but also about escorting and the safety around escorting. And I'm really pleased also, representing a classification society, to see that the aspect of safety doesn't get overlooked and forgotten beneath all the different innovations and the exciting topics which are ongoing. We need to keep our 2 feet on the ground and make sure that safety aspect remains in foremost importance to us.
And what do classification societies do to ensure that safety remains high in the industry?
Well, it's really a matter of dialogue, I would say. What we see a lot in these innovations which are happening, whether it is on alternative fuels or performance design of escort tugs or other innovations, the key issue is to keep having early stage conversations with all the stakeholders to make sure that the innovation gets done safely, that there is proper standards in place to ensure that safety standards are being upheld, and when there are no safety standards, that we work together to develop them, which gives us 2 important results. First of all, a safety level which is acceptable to the industry and hopefully acceptable to the regulator as well, because we're also acting on behalf of flag states. And secondly, it ensures there is a level playing field for the adoption of those new technologies. And I think that is a helpful feature of those conversations as well. So it is really about listening to what is happening, following that, having conversations with all stakeholders, and supporting the development of the necessary standards and methodologies to ensure that we can implement them in a proper way.
And the data suggests that Bureau Veritas is the lead classification society in classing tugs.
Yeah.
Why is that? What does Bureau Veritas bring to the market?
I think that is a mixture of reasons. Bureau Veritas has, with its origins in Northwestern Europe, has always been very much involved with the towing industry. That is nothing new. We have done it for decades, if not longer than that. The company nearly exists 200 years. We have always focused also very much on the towing industry. So we have been always engaged with both the owners as well as the yards and the designers to work together with them to make sure we have appropriate standards and to have the expertise in the field to address the specifics of tugboats. And that goes on the design and the naval architecture side of things, but also on the practical operational side of things. So we have always been able to match that together. And I think our approach, as I mentioned before, is really on the collaboration side, trying to understand what's happening and having the mindset of how can we support the industry to make this happen in a safe way, but always towards a solution, never towards the problem.